of everything. There's always still nature. Make theories of everything. Theories of everything. Theories of everything. This is just a phase. I don't have a mission. For all I know, tomorrow I could collapse. So just in case I leave you my theory of everything, 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 theory of There's always still nature. Make theories of everything. Theories of everything. Theories of everything. There's always still nature. Make Hey people, what's up? Welcome to another stream. How are you doing? Um, Not much has happened in terms of like what's going on. So I am doing this as an open panel. Here, Mary, what's up? Suzy Q, Ami, what's good? A fish, Polly, what's going on? Suzy Q again. Foodie Beauty action figure. Welcome, Nikki D and Mary R. So we can talk about Foodieverse and anything in there. I've been checking on DLF stuff. DLF has no videos on his channel. I guess he's taking a break or something happened. Maybe he was compared to King Cobra again. So sorry about your sickness, Yami. Hopefully you feel better. Positive vibes. Shiera, what's up? Said who? Suzy Q? Oh, there's two Suzy Q's in here. Okay, Suzy Q and Suzy Q. Welcome both Suzy Q's. So, hey, if you want to come up on panel, send me a message on Instagram or the Twitter, and we shall get started. All right, other than that, hopefully everybody's doing good. It's a Tuesday after all. What can we say? But yeah, things are good. Rest in peace to Coffee Table, for sure. I'm surprised DLF wasn't banned for every after showing his macropene. Well, remember what Foodie Beauty used to do? Whenever she would show, she would delete, and then people said She said she would get messages. No, people said they would get messages that the reported content was resolved because it was deleted. And FB used to be extremely good um, deleting all that stuff, right? It will be delete after delete after delete, over and over and over again. Polly says it's Wednesday over here. All right, cool, Polly. Hopefully your hump day goes well. Um, Not much going on, like I said. Um, I did get allegedly, supposedly emailed by Steve. That's another thing going on. I don't know how to even bother with that whole situation because it's so sensitive in terms of what Bali is going through and whatnot. Uh, so I'm gonna leave that alone. We haven't seen Bali on ever since she gave her piece, which was, when was that? Today is Tuesday, right? So on Sunday, and that's about it. I guess they might be working things out, maybe not. Who knows? Is Steve jelly? I don't know. He just said, "Hey," he just send me an email about certain things. I'm like, I already talked about it on the live stream. Don't know what else to say to him. Like, it's his marriage. It's his wife. He should know best. Hey there, Martha. Good morning, Missy. I already got Martha here. Of course, always very vocal. She's scared she's gonna get reported. Really? I don't know about that. She deleted it, and what's gonna be the end result if she does get reported? Like, she's gonna get a strike? Yeah, okay, she gets a strike. That's about it. Yeah. If you didn't know, Bali did say and talk about guns and threatening somebody. I'm not sure if she did it in a jestful manner or she was super serious, but it was made and it was done. Who's Steve? Steve is Bali's husband that has a YouTube channel. I didn't know this until a couple days ago, even though he's been uploading on that channel for a couple months. So out of nowhere, I'm like, okay, he has a channel. He said his piece about what was going on with Bali, and that was deleted the next day. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, deleted the next day, cool. Oh, reported to the government. Okay, I see. Sup, Stella? Hey, Miami Voice, what's going on? You good? Anyone see Jeffree Star get swatted on TikTok? TikTok is where the real action is. How? Really? He got swatted on TikTok? OMG. Well, yeah, swatting has become a huge thing. I was watching about how a lot of governments or local agencies, governing agencies and whatnot, are taking that seriously, or they're implementing workshops about that in local, state law enforcement and beyond. Hey, Sinner, what's up? Yeah, H3A3 or whatever. Yeah, but oh, okay. Hey, Hebrew. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, like that is becoming so commonplace. In fact, I was watching something about somebody dying because they got swatted, and it was YouTube's, or should I say, the internet's most prolific swatter. What was his name again? I forgot. But yeah, people are getting charged for that because it's something that shouldn't be done. Yeah, wasn't it infamous? The YouTube's most, yeah, infamous water. Wasn't it Tyler Barris, right? What was his handle again? Like Swatistic, I think it was. Yeah, isn't he still in jail? Yeah, he should be still in jail. Yeah, if anybody, what's swatting? Swatting is when you know the location of somebody who is streaming online, whether it's game, commentary, or anything in between. You send law enforcement to their homes in an attempt to either scare them or unalive them. So yeah, he is in prison. Swatistic is in prison. So you send law enforcement to their home either to scare them on one end of the spectrum or to unalive them on the other end of the spectrum, and you watch it all unfold while they are streaming live. But yeah, people are getting gun time for that stuff. Not jail time for that stuff. What am I saying? My mind. Yeah, people are getting significant jail time for that stuff because local law enforcement are well, law enforcement around the world are very aware of what's happening. How you been? How you been? How you been? Miami Vice. Hopefully you are good. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you're good. What can I say about certain other things? I don't know what the hell's going on with Nader. Yeah, you're welcome. People worried. Oh, okay. It was wild. He handled it very good and was laughed about it. Thinks it was his neighbors. Oh, okay. There was 120. Wow. Okay. Like I said, it seems to be like this new trending thing that people are doing, and then a lot of people are getting their consequences because of what they're doing. So there's a lot to that. All right, like I said, if you want to come up and you want to talk about anything, send me a message, Twitter, Instagram. I'll give you the invite link as of now. Huh, okay. I'm looking at something. Stella says usually the cops arrive with guns drawn because the person who called the cops says the person is in danger. Yeah, yeah. Typically, that's it. Who cares about Nader? Oh yeah, speaking of the Nads, I still haven't checked. I've been having so many things to do. I still haven't checked. When's the next court date? I'm gonna be doing that ASAP. There's a system I gotta go through and check on when it is, if it's available. So I'll be doing that shortly. Every day, it's so much things to do that you only have a little set amount of time. So I will definitely be checking on that ASAP. Um, there's another thing. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take a look at some of Bally's latest things. It seems she is still set with Hannibal. So let's check that out and let's talk. We'll wait to see if anybody wants to come up. If not, then we'll continue with our conversation. If they do, maybe the conversation will go somewhere else. You hope he gets jail time over 2 years to legally throw him out. We shall see. We shall see what happens. Let justice take place. However, that form of justice is administered, is how I always say. All right, so let's take a look at what Bali's been up to. Yesterday, this was one of two videos done.
I'm watching Hannibal's show, and he's talking about that Jan's views discussed him today, and your mama was in the chat. I was also watching, and I saw your mama's show after. Now I'm watching Hannibal's show, and I like everyone in their way. But Hannibal, I want to ask you because you're not you come into my chat, but you don't let me back into your chat, and I don't need to. It's better for me this way. But what can I say in your chat? Honestly, Anyhow, but why are you talking so much like you're not a big creator? You have this, and but you talk so highly of yourself. I don't know. Mentioned about like Jan said, you mentioned your mama. He was in your YouTube for 10 years, or I don't know how long, with 1K
Mhm.
subs, and then Girl World, and he went up. And so what? Good for him. So what? Good for you that you have your subs. Good for everybody. But listen, now he's commenting also on Jan. Like putting people
All right. Can I say your mama didn't have the 1K subs? He had like I forgot what it was, but I guess I can check Social Blade, but it was a couple thousand, not like a lot like he has now. But he had was it like two or three or something like that? Two, three or four K subs, and then he's for sure significantly increases his subs through Gold World, but still, you see her reflection exactly. Okay, so uh let's continue.
down, and he also did that to me. Look at with her few subscribers, and let's get her up. Like it's for him views. I also look at this, but not in a nasty way.
I respond in my last video to your mama. So again, I'm jealous of your mama. I accept. If I need to be jealous, if I need to be the jolly green giant,
And just another day in Girl World. Celebrity juicer. Why is Bally talking about Hannibal? Well, Hannibal talks about Bally. Bally talks about Hannibal. Jen talks about Hannibal. Hannibal talks about your mama. It's this a lot of back and forth, a lot of this and that and whatnot. That is Hannibal 615. What's up? It ain't that. How you doing?
and if I need to be the jelly green giant, I'll be that in my red man voice. I have no reason to argue or fight with your opinion. You're absolutely right. As you consistently receive up to 11 views
11
per
views.
channel. I got you. Congratulations, you hit the double digits. Got you. So
Double digits. That's
now,
so
what
mean.
I
That's so mean. That's childish. Hannibal, don't be like that. It's not nice of your character. Come on. Come on.
will say is
That will not bring you luck.
listening to some of those comments or reading some of those comments, it's clear that nobody has really watched my entire show
That's
because
why
if
he
you
always
think
says nobody watches the entire show. It's really hard, Hannibal, to watch your entire show because you keep it going for 3-4 hours, and there's your your chat likes it. I like also some of it, but nobody can watch all of it.
Is given Joker
It's usually very
supposed
repetitive.
to?
I say it as it is.
that I'm serious because I know
And
what I'm
don't hate
talking
me because
about,
you said I'm
then
allowed
you
to.
are
You said to me I'm allowed to put my raw opinions. I'm not attacking you in any bad way. I think.
absolutely just ridiculous. There's nothing that you can say about the clinic call that is serious. There's nothing that you can say about me laughing. Now, I can understand that if you don't get a joke because I don't put a punctuation line behind it, because I don't say all of that behind all of my jokes, then I'm sorry. That's not my intelligence level that is being challenged at that point if you can't understand what I'm saying.
Okay,
But
I'm
what I
gonna
will
continue
say,
watching the
Jan,
show,
is
but Hannibal, don't be so nasty.
Oh
Picking
boy,
at people. You
this
have a
is Girl
channel and you
World.
like to have your crowd. Be happy you have it. But don't pick on people. Look, you got double digit 11 views. What the hell is that all about? That's just being simply mean. And you know that I'm right about that. I am. Peace.
All right, we're gonna we'll watch another one, but like I've been saying, Girl World is a changing, and I don't know what it's gonna morph, mold, meld, shape itself into, but
you
Look at
I'm gonna be rolling with it. So here we go. Let's take a look at another one.
you who
Look
they
at how
are.
ridiculous. I just posted my video that I discussed him. So
I
just
think
so
you
you
should
know,
believe him.
I commented on him first, then him. He's now commenting on me right now. And I'm like, okay, you couldn't leave my mouth. Good that I commented first.
And Bally showed us from the beginning
You hateful
that
person.
she's willing to work with Natter behind the scenes. She's
I
willing
had
to
my
send personal
interest
information. She's
behind
willing
the
to do anything.
scenes, which he will never
Therefore,
understand.
she's automatically invalid in my book.
Invalid.
She's automatically just boom. And the stunt that she just pulled,
Stunt. Thank
where
God I
she
commented
was
before.
trying to
Everybody
get
has
me
the
to
timeline.
unblock her in
Mm-hmm.
my chat.
You're not
Tried
going to
to
end
get
up
me to
famous. You're not
unblock
going to
her.
be popular. I don't care for YouTube. You care
And then
so much
today
about your
turns
channel and
around and
about your
bashes
views.
me and
A fish, there's a lot to this situation. Maybe somebody will dive into it, maybe not, who knows. But situation has been unfolding much more quickly the last few days, but there's a lot more to just like surface level stuff. Cracky's Angels. Ah.
And about your
Sam's
super
chat.
chats and
Oh
about your
yeah,
clan and
bandwagoner.
everything.
I got you.
I
Second
don't.
girl.
And guess what? Wait.
Hey y'all, look, plain and simple. Bally's funny. Bally's entertaining. Bally's an alcoholic. Bally's got some mental issues. Bally needs to turn the internet off and seek some serious help. But don't you ever once believe or think in your mind that anybody can trust Bally. Her own damn husband can't trust her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust Bally. So,
Really?
Don't
Monty,
trust me.
Wow.
Nobody trusts me.
directly speaking to you,
I should dive into it?
be careful, bro. I
Wow.
understand that you like to
That's a
talk
lot.
to women that have interesting mind orders, mindsets. So, Bally could be in your inbox if she's not already. Watch your back, bro. Watch your back. And with that being said, guys.
With that being said, let's go to some more negative content. Let's drag some more people for money.
You think Belly cares a lot about YouTube? She does. She's significantly, consistently on YouTube, hours and hours and hours a day. She does care a lot, and she's getting a lot of attention as well. A lot more of attention than she anticipated.
And for my team, my hateful team. All of the people in this chat are losers, hateful people. They can talk about Foodie Beauty all day and about hateful things because they have no life themselves. They have nothing. That I have my issues. I've said my issues. I have put everything out there. That's why I recorded my videos and everything, to put it all out there. I have admitted to my mistakes. But for Hannibal, hey, let's see in the long run, with your 2,000 subscribers that you have now, you think you're going to be popular with this kind of attitude? Think
Very
again.
addicted.
Think smarter. You did psychology. You think the people you have now like the hate, but you're not going to get further with this kind of attitude. Nobody kind of likes you anymore. People can see through you. And what you do with your cartoons, your show, you do editing and everything, but it's kind of pathetic. Cartoon there, cartoon there. Who are you entertaining? Teenagers or what? Who's your crowd? Are they grown up? Do they have some intelligence? I don't know. I'm asking you. Come on, with your
Facts, it ain't
almost
that.
50 years old age. You tell me to get a life. I know my problems. I know how to help myself. I don't need any advice from you, Hannibal. Your mama spoke very well regards the topic today. Thank you, your mama. Was not directed to me directly, but I understood the message and I appreciate. And I have to worry for myself and have other issues in my life that are my problems. But what a disrespectful, hateful person you are. I'm glad. Please don't come in my chat because I will block you the next time. Bye bye, Hannibal. And keep on talking about me because you got no content going on anyhow.
All right, so that's Bally. You got to take things with a grain of salt, whatever she says, because all right, Marie, take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Like I said, you got to take things with a grain of salt because whatever she says isn't always reality. And I keep saying that to people. Be careful what people tell you, because sometimes the things that people tell you isn't how things actually are. So you gotta at least do a little bit of research before you say do something or make a decision. That's the least you can do. You got to do your due diligence, especially in how girl world is. Well, actually, always has been. If you take a look back at the past, somebody would say something to you, people would roll with it, and it's not always the truth. So they got to come with some receipts. Who is this Bali lady? Where did she start to get into the girl world? Bali has been around for years, since at least 2021. She would go into a lot of people's streams and whatnot. She got outed by Nader from talking to him since 2021, trying to pawn off her restaurant to him. Or maybe that was the general conversation that was being had, but other things were being had, such as coaching him to strike channels, certain channels she didn't like, including mine, Gary, and other people, talking ill about reaction channels to Nader. So all the striking and stuff. If you thought that was an original idea from Nads, maybe it was, but it seems that there's evidence that it was orchestrated. It was orchestrated by Bali. So if you're lost, maybe take a look at the conversation that Nads outed on Bali. A lot of stuff. Bali has had a difficult life, but even with that difficulty in life, I think certain patterns shouldn't be repeated. From my understanding, people were saying that her mom was a madame. Yes, if you don't know what a madame is, it's a female host of a brothel. Let's just put it that way. Her dad seemed to be very hard, very gangster in a lot of things, especially concerning how to handle life and relationships. Beli's traveled the world, as she says. She's been removed from certain countries for staying just a little bit too long. Has had her run-ins with the law. Has had many things happen, but the last time where she was Bali, Indonesia. A very nice place. A lot of people like to vacation there. It's one of the hot spots. Bali, Fiji. Where else is like a really nice hot spot for people who vacation? People are waiting till she gets monetized so that they can return the favor. Yeah, but yeah, it seems Bali has tried a lot of things, a lot of businesses and whatnot. W- Way too many things, and some of them went well. Some actually didn't. Yeah, Guam. Hmm. Yeah, Guam's a pretty nice spot. There's tons of places in the world that you can have fun and frolic. Okinawa. Okay, all right. Pali is a very well traveled person. But basically, a lot of people have concerns about Bali because of the talk about bringing younger individuals to her boss, where these individuals posted ads in the paper, and they were ladies of the night, is how I'm gonna put it. So they were SEX workers that were being brought to her boss. Now, a lot of people have a lot of problems with this because uh, they were young. Now, she's saying that they were 18 and over, but I don't know what to believe unless I see concrete proof. I can't say yay or nay to the matter, because if you're aware of what goes on, even in that industry, people have fake IDs, people lie, people slip up, people might not check properly. There's a lot of stuff that happens. So, with that said, a lot of people are having a problem with that. Um, Other than that, Bali has had her picture in a book. I think she shared that book on her community tab. But there's a lot more to her. I'm sure. I'm sure she has lots of stories and whatnot. She seems to be a person that has a lot of stories that she could definitely write a book on. Okay, it ain't that says, yep, I have a problem with that. If she said it, she meant it. She said underage girls. Yeah, a lot of people are having a lot of issues with that. Um, how can I continue? So, I'm sure we're gonna learn more about the situation. Not sure if Bali's still in a hotel or not. Some people have said the hotel was being paid for by the guy. Was it Ramesh in Texas? But Bali's saying no, it wasn't. Money, $200 was sent from Steve to Bali. Bali said that it was sent to her Zelle, but then there's talks that she might have used the $200 for what, to pay Todd, but Todd is the Uber driver, and it seems Todd and Bali have become familiar with each other. A lot more into this. Like Steve is very concerned, but okay, give me a second. All right, it's sent. All right, Steve is very concerned of what the hell is going on with a certain situation that is building up and mounting up. Like it's not all good in paradise, like I've been saying. Where if you spend more than a month in a hotel, it means something's wrong, especially with a newlywed couple. Now, of course, they can work on their thing, their marriage. Hopefully, they can work things out. But we shall see. There was also talks about a trial marriage. Never heard that before. A trial marriage. Should marriages be a trial? I thought it was a commitment rather than trial. You can like date and see if you guys are okay. But then if you're doing trial marriages, just sounds strange to me. Like a trial marriage doesn't sit right. But hey, whatever they're doing is whatever they're doing. Yeah, Steve said a sugar daddy pay the hotel bill. Yeah, I thought it was that guy in Texas allegedly, supposedly paid it. I mean, if depending on a hotel, it can get pricey. Uh, if you look at average costs to spend, spend a month in a hotel, it can get up there. Because on average, how much do you spend a night in hotels? 150, right? But you can get deals. So would you be spending the 4,500 a month on a hotel? Maybe it depends, but you can get long stay deals. It all depends on what's being offered at specific places. Mausto says marriage is like old age. It ain't for weenies. You thought trial marriages were used for visa status? What do you mean by that? You mean like the K1 type of visa, like 90-day fiance stuff? Is that what you mean? Or something different? All right, so pretty much that's it. Like I've said, um, it's their marriage. Hopefully, they can handle it in a amicable way. And I'm not trying to butt into people's marriage and stuff. I'd rather leave it to adults to figure out what they want in life, whether it's with each other or not with each other, is really up to them. And yeah, I will separate myself from like directly impacting somebody's marriage because not something I want to do. Hey Betty Boo, how you doing? You are not late at all. US hotels are cheaper than Canadian ones. Japanese ones are even cheaper. In South Asia, hotels are crazy cheap. Somebody was telling me they went to Japan to do a clothing brand, and they were like, "Yeah, I just hopped on a plane within in less than 24 hours, got to Japan, and I had nothing planned." This person was telling me They spent a lot of time in Tokyo, and they're like, yeah, it's best that you don't um, book your hotels ahead of time, because then you can get really cheap places to stay, like for the night or two or three, if you just, look around. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Don't book ahead. You can always find something. And they're like, yeah, they could find something for really, really depends, maybe 15 to $30. Is that true? Polly says Tokyo is expensive. Well, they were talking about Tokyo. Sometimes they would crash at another person's, pad. They are like, yeah, it feels more cohesive in Japan, like the how the culture is there. Like there's a lot of togetherness, and people are willing to cooperate than in North American atmosphere. A lot of people want to be solo, right? They're not trying to. Capsule hotels or love hotels are insanely cheap. Yeah, I think that's what he was staying in. Because I was thinking, wait a second, wouldn't that be like a capsule? I think that's what he was saying. But I spoke to this person and not that long ago, less than 2 weeks ago, and they were telling me all about their trips and whatnot, and how they love the culture, and they were there for like 3 months, just out of nowhere. They went there to follow their dreams of making a clothing line, and it was one of the best moves that they did. They lived off the money they had. They met people. They collaborated. People were really cool. Any Oh boy, could you imagine Foodie in Tokyo? I can and I can't. I can and I can't. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay. All right. 1 second. Give me. Ginger32 says hotels are more expensive in Japan. I'm in Indonesia at the moment, and you can get a great hotel room for £30, even less on Java. Same in Bangkok. I recommend book your first 2 to 3 nights, then wing it. Okay. All right, that sounds like pretty good. Okay, how can Chantal not handle Japan, Polly? Give us the tea. What would happen if Chantal was in Tokyo? Because if you don't remember, one of Pete's dreams is to go to Tokyo. He wants to go and see Studio Ghibli or Ghibli, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, Pete wants to go to Tokyo. Foodie Beauty's like, okay, she'll tag along. But how is that all gonna work out? Would that work out well for them? Would that not work out well for them? Would it be a shit show? Would it be okay? Would people be staring at Foodie? Would she be getting around a lot, or would she just stay in the hotel room and have Pete do his thing? Trains, hills, doors. Okay, I see. All right, I see. Yeah, Jesse the Crafty Gypsy, welcome. What's up? How you doing? Uh, all right, I'm getting a message here, and we're gonna have to figure this out. All right, so we're still waiting on somebody to come on panel and give us talk about certain things. Still waiting. Still waiting. Like I said, if you want to come up on panel, just send me a message on Twitter or Instagram. Other than that, we will continue the conversation. Um, dun, dun, dun. Okay. You want to go to Bunny Island? Oh, well. Wait a second. You know where I want to go? Like Cat Island. Cat Island's there. That's one of the things. All right. We got Miami Vice. I'm gonna add you right now, Miami. Hey, what's up?
Hey everybody. Hey Monty.
How's it
Am
going?
I echoing?
No, you're fine.
It's
To me,
going
you're
all right.
fine.
Y'all doing okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good. So what's up? So you
Good.
completed your profile and things are going okay?
Yeah, I haven't checked back in yet. I made my Set Life profile and I haven't checked my inbox yet. but I plan to do that on a live at some point.
Okay.
So, hey,
All right.
Mary.
Well, we shall see what
Yeah.
it can get it can get pretty hairy on there, so just be careful. You might get
I've been
some
on
messages.
I've been on there before, but I was never really super active, so I'm familiar with it. But yeah, hey
Okay.
fish,
All right,
no
just
sleepy
so you know.
for me. Hmm.
All right, so you've been active. Well, you've always had a channel. You've had a channel for a long time, like really long
17
time.
years.
Yeah, the early years of YouTube, where
Yeah,
wasn't those early years there was more of a community. Like a lot of people were just posting stuff to post stuff, right? They were just doing their
that,
thing.
exactly. It wasn't so much. Oh my God, I gotta be a creator. Like it was just people getting on there for the most part. Just my first videos, what I did because I was bored. It wasn't let me set up this ultra fancy tutorial. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was there in the very early days when they still had those little boxes for ads you could click at the bottom. So I am very careful with my content because I don't want to get, in trouble. So hey Polly. So I just was very careful last night.
mm-hmm.
There are other people on here that talk about that life though and fetishes and sex and yeah. It wasn't monetized. I didn't care. I just got on there to do it for fun. See, when I got on YouTube, I just got on it for fun because I was bored one day after work when I
Mm-hmm.
started uploading. It wasn't like, oh my God, Mama, let me not say this, let me not say that. So I'm not used to having to censor myself. They didn't have
Yeah.
that.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
old timer talk.
Yeah, it's all good. So you've pretty much seen how YouTube's changed and evolved, and you know, uh, people coming in, people leaving, people doing all sorts of stuff.
Yes. One moment though, Polly said I'm vibrating a bit. My volume. Are you here? Are you hearing that too, Monty?
I'm not hearing that. Hey, Lady D. So I don't know. Are you on like a new system?
I'm
Oh,
on an earpiece and I was just on a live, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's their
okay. You know
volume or
what?
something going on.
It's
Okay, Mary's sound is fine.
Yeah, maybe your mic's a little bit hot, but um, I mean, it should be adjusting over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, you know what? I have like cathedral ceilings. So that's probably anywhere I go in this house is gonna sound like an echo. Unless I probably go in the office or like the spare rooms, their ceiling a little lower. If I go in the bathroom, it'll echo. But
Oh.
anyway, yes, I was wilding out in my stream last night. Come check me out. I did a Fet Life because I'm looking for a slave. I am a lot of things. I'm into a lot of things, but I like that.
Okay. You're just so nonchalant with it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel very natural. It feels very natural to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It feels
I can
like,
get
oh,
it.
I prefer chicken over beef. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't have modes on my mic. I don't think. Are there modes in StreamYard here for the mic? This
Modes?
is just
What do
my
you mean that?
earpiece. Juicer.
Oh,
I don't see.
cardioid mode. Okay. That would be the type of mic. Um, you said, are you on your phone?
I'm talking on an earpiece, just like a regular earbud.
Okay, I see.
But Mary said she can hear me fine. So I in the mic
Mm,
itself, yeah, I'm not on a mic.
okay, all
I,
right, all
I,
right.
I I'm gonna improve my setup, but when I get more, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
Yeah,
bearing with me. I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So, as I was having a discussion about myself, that not much interest is happening. I mean, in terms of the girl world, in terms of Foodie Beauty, while the orbiters are kind of waning, like Pete's ain't really getting that much action because he's not cooking. And like I've said, I would cover Pete's again because a lot of people enjoyed his cooking. So that was the fun part, but he's just not doing it.
Wonder why? Because of his living situation?
Yeah, he says mostly because of his
Okay.
living situation. What he's been doing is not cooking because the kitchen is next to his landlord's and he doesn't feel comfortable. I'm like, how can you not feel comfortable when you're paying for a place and just because they're right beside there, you just gotta make sure you don't freak out and start yelling like he does, in the middle of the night. That's all he's got
Is
to
he in
do.
a rooming house?
No, he's just in
Is that a
somebody's
rooming?
house. No, he's just in somebody's house. They've pretty much given him a room to stay in their own house.
Mm. Thank you, Gypsy Curse. Thank you for coming in last night. I enjoyed y'all. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess I'm gonna have to check out your stream then, Miami.
Oh, well, you know what happened. If anybody goes back to look, the live chat might be missing because I had to edit a part out. I accidentally showed someone's butata, so I had to edit that part out. But it was just like 1 minute of stuff. But for some reason, doing that now, editing a live, I don't know if the live chat will come back. But you can hear me. I
No.
usually read my live chat out, or so you can
Yeah.
still hear me.
Yeah, when you edit a live stream, like you cut something out, the live chat goes away.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate effect of, what you're doing. So,
Well, fortunately, my chat isn't that active to where you're really missing anything, but also I tend to read out what I'm replying to, so you'll know what's going on. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
mhm.
I would love to use Pete's hot tub. Pete has a hot tub. I would like a bathtub with jacuzzi jets. He's boring and comes on late. Damn, I come on late too, though. I feel him on that.
Yeah, he's coming on real late though, but he loves working nighttime rather than daytime for him. So there's that. So I really haven't kept up with Pete's because before I was keeping up with Pete's like just like that. Anytime something would happen, I would know. But they
Mhm.
these days, nah. It's just too much. A lot of streaming, not a lot of cooking. Way too much for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hmm.
I never really got into him like that. For a moment, I watched him, but actually, it was when you would cover him when he'd be cooking and stuff. Otherwise, I didn't really get into him like
Yeah.
that.
Well, his cooking was entertaining. Seeing him
It
learn
was.
skills and
It
mess
was
up.
like watching yeah, like watching a teenager or a younger person learning how to cook next to their parents for the first time. Like, but you in your 30s. But I gave him props for the bar is low in girl world. Like we said, we give people props for doing everyday things. Y'all realize that this is everyday stuff. He's a grown ass man. And everybody's like, oh my god, look at him boiling water. Like, come on, and
He-
boiling an egg. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Where yeah, it's like this community has done that. It's like this is something you should do. You should have learned this a long time ago.
Right. He's God. I really don't have anything against Pete though. But I mean he does have some things about him I don't like, but like overall I don't have anything against him. But his growth has been stunted by people enabling him his whole life.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So
Or you could even think of it the opposite. Like they just didn't teach him life skills. They just made him survive, and then he grew up without. How can you not know to operate a dishwasher? And if you don't know, why don't you just look it up? I couldn't believe um,
Right.
when Foodie Beauty was, saying, "Okay, Pete, let me show you to operate this dishwasher." I was like shocked. I'm like, seriously,
Damn.
that is just beyond me.
That's
Just look it
sad.
up. That's how I learn. If I don't know
Mhm.
something, I look it up. I look at the instructions. I, do my thing and I teach myself. Gotta have that skills where you can just teach yourself rather than just giving up. You might fail, but just try it again. Yes, he
Right.
how he cracked his first egg a couple months ago. That was just bizarre as well. I'm like,
Soil.
yeah. Remember the time he used salt? Yes, he was proud of his egg boiling, cracking his first eggs. He's never mopped the floor. There's just so many things that
The fact that
are,
he's never mopped. Ew.
yeah, that just tells you, especially when he has his own
Gross.
personal bathroom. It's like, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
You know
that,
that floor was thick with grime.
right, exactly. So,
Spectre
yeah,
with laziness.
yeah, we can talk about this. A lot of people have their whole thing about him being on the spectrum, him not being on the spectrum. I think most people would agree he probably is, but there's people like, nah. But
He
he
is.
seems very high functioning.
I feel like he's on the spectrum, but I also feel like he's just lazy too. He's
Yeah, I
also on the
think,
spectrum of laziness, and I think he uses that as a crutch to get out of doing shit.
yeah, or the depression is, he talks about his depression,
That's
which
true.
could be a very legitimate, or is a very
Yeah.
legitimate thing to talk about, because depression does get a lot of people down, especially in these times where people are losing their jobs left, right, and center. A lot of people are depressed. A
Yeah.
lot of people feel like they want to give up. But he's been he's been fighting this for a long time, so I think he needs better help. And Foodie Beauty could
Yeah, I
have, yeah.
totally understand.
Mm-hmm. Foodie
I
Beauty taking a
understand.
good
I
time.
acknowledge too that he does have depression.
You acknowledge what? Sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't want to seem insensitive to the fact I know he does struggle with mental health issues as well. I still think he's lazy. A part of him is just lazy, but I do think part of it is his mental illness struggles as well. I too suffer from depression, but I'm high functioning
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people who suffer
and
from depression, but
anxiety.
they still get up and work.
Yeah. But some people can't. Like I've been there. I've actually been there where I didn't want to leave my room for some time. I didn't want to go out into the kitchen. It was that bad. And I totally I was in a situation where I was more able to do that at that time. So I mean, if that happened now, I don't know what I'd do. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
understand Pete in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, for sure. What's this about operating machines with bricks for shits and giggles? What would that be about? Uh, but yeah, I'll definitely take a look at Pete's if he does do the cooking again. But he says he can't move because everywhere's expensive. If he's talking about that about
Yeah, I
Cornwall,
believe that.
you should know and understand how it's like in like Ottawa, Montreal, and like Toronto, like big cities.
You know, I understand.
Well,
You
yeah, you
kn-
would know. You in Atlanta, so you would definitely know.
not only not only was I in Highland, I was in Buckhead, which is the most expensive zip code, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta. So I definitely that's why I'm not there anymore. Okay, so
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't even know that Buckhead was that expensive.
I mean, it has places that are more affordable. I mean, it has it. I'm not gonna say it has something for every price point. It used to, it really did, but you know how things are now. everything is just going up. Like, so I moved out to the suburbs 3 years ago. So I'm in the suburbs.
Okay, I
But
see. So
it is still going up. No, but it's still lower than where I was a little, but it's still going up. So
okay, okay, I see. I just randomly saw a place. So like a place like North Mount Paran would be like super expensive.
oh, that's the real ritzy area. Okay,
Oh,
look, if you
okay.
look up 30326, 30326, that's the area I was in.
Okay, I
That's
see.
a very small zip code. Very small. It's right there. Well, I'm saying this like y'all would know, but whatever. That's where it is. But all of Atlanta is experiencing this. It's not just Buckhead. So y'all know. So I'm sure Pete's, if it's happening here, I know it's happening where Pete's is at. It's worldwide.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. Everything's just getting way more expensive, and food's going up. A lot more people are extremely unhappy because of what's going on, especially when you may not have a job come tomorrow, and you still got bills to pay. It's hard.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
Yeah, bless you, says it, and bless you, says me as well. uh
Oh, thanks, Edna. Yes, that was a sneeze. I don't know what's going on with my air or yeah, please don't move to Atlanta. Y'all are driving up the prices. This was driving up here. This been happening for a while here. I'm not going to get deep into that, but now I've been here 40 years, so I'm like, y'all, come on, give Atlanta a break. The traffic,
yeah, yeah. So if
the
you could live
suburb, I think you can still find it. I'm
if you
sorry. Go
could
ahead.
live yeah, no worries. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Oh my dear, I haven't been that many places to make an accurate judgment of where it would be. Besides where I've been here, and um, people naming their cities where not to move from. Oh yeah, I know Norcross. That's north of Buckeye. I've been to Norcross plenty of times. That's not far at all. But yeah, I don't know. I Where would you live?
I can't even well I can't even I don't even know what to say to that. I like living. Canada has, it's good and bad. If I could live anywhere, I don't know. I'd rather be nomadic. Like there's good and bad in every country, city, town. I'd rather somewhere pretty safe. Um, I don't know. The change in weather, I can deal with it now, but you know how you get older, you might want to change a pace and something that's mild or just warm all the time. There's so many places I'd love to live. Yeah, like if it says I would be a roamer. Roaming lifestyle is really good. Like just imagining, you could just wake up in the morning and be able to just be wherever you want to be. But that's how it is. Like money is that factor where you got to get up and work. Most of us, almost all of us, you got to get up and work and support yourself and put food on the table, you know, rather than have the ability to travel all over the world or go wherever you want. But then you could always schedule vacations, you could always do your thing that way. But yeah, such is life. And Atlanta or Nashville, I don't know. I think I would do Atlanta more than Nashville. Is Nashville any good? Oh, we lost. I guess we lost. We lost Miami Vice. Okay, Miami Vice is back. Hey, welcome
Oh,
back.
I'm so sorry. Let me turn down my TV. Hold on. Where's my remote? I'm high as a kite. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I got my TV. Wait a minute, hold on, Monty. I got my TV up. Where did my remote go that quick? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Wait a minute, hold on, Monty. Okay. Hey, Monty, I'm sorry. I got kicked out.
No, it's all right. Probably say Nashville is better than Atlanta. I guess you would do Nashville for music and art scene if those were the choices. Is Nashville really that good?
I've never been there. Yeah, celebrity juicer in the morning. Yeah. I've had my coffee and my earth.
Yeah, well, some people, they live the lifestyle. They love their herb. You're one of those people, Miami.
Yes. I will tell you, okay, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm not gonna say that I would have my permanent house here, like let's say just for a second home. I would love to have a home in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Lookout Mountain. I've always wanted a home there. And
Oh,
if you don't know, when you're up there, you can see uh, like if you go to the top of Lookout Mountain on the overlook, you can see like this is a little thing they say you can see 7 states, but it is a beautiful view. It is so relaxing. Like I can sit up there for hours when I went to Rock City or anytime I went there. But oh, you're going to Chattanooga. Chattanooga is 2 hours away from me, so I've driven there a lot just for like a light getaway for the weekend. And it's very nice. It's like Buckhead up there. Well, not. I mean, like it's not like that, but it's ritzy. Like that's where the well-to-do people live. Like in
hmm,
Chattanooga, what I've noticed. So it's like a nice neighborhood. They don't have like skyscrapers or anything like Buckhead, but like the homes are very nice. I mean, and it's
okay.
very nice up there. It's like a whole yeah. So anyway, people have houses out on the side of the mountain, not the side, but where you can see off. I would like to have a second house there. I think that would be extremely relaxing. And then you can still drive down to Chattanooga from the mountain and you have the city. You can experience the city and they have water. It's a slower pace than Atlanta. So
Okay.
that's
All
one
right.
place. And I think a third place, because I like to think big, would be Jamaica.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, that would be nice.
I know you're from Jamaica. So I went there. I really liked it. It was so beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is amazing. Yeah.
Where did you say? Because I got kicked out.
Oh, I was the conversation went to, I guess, where I would live and whatnot, and I would say I'd be more Roman. Would I ever move back to Jamaica? I guess so. But you never know how your mind changes when you get older and what you want in life, because certain things that I want in life now isn't necessarily the same things I wanted 10 years ago. So we all mature. We might change and whatnot, but as it stands, Jamaica is a good country, depending on a lot of factors. If you're struggling to survive, it can be very hard, as in any other country. But if you have a decent to good job, and you can put food on the table, you have a nice place to stay, then yeah, it's a great place. So it really all depends.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you want to go to Jamaica, you can go to Jamaica. Do the thing that Foodie wanted to do, wasn't it? Rent a house for like 250 a month or something
Oh, did
like
she?
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what. Well, her
250 a
auntie,
month.
Aunt Phyllis. Yeah, that would be like in the country though. You can in the country. You would not
Oh,
get like you would not get something like that in like Kingston or Montego Bay or Portmore for that. It would be
okay.
like more
What
country
about like?
areas.
Okay, I was at Ocho Rios at I just forgot the name of the resort. It doesn't matter. I was in Ocho Rios. What is that from the country?
Well, if you're from Kingston, they consider that the country, but that area, Jamaica, is placard with like lots of resorts. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you which resort you went to because there's so much. But Ocho Rios is like a
Oh,
small town, placard with lots of resorts by the beach area. But yeah, nothing wrong with
uh-huh.
Ocho Rios. Ocho Rios is good.
Okay.
Well, you got
Well,
enamored.
yeah, I would want to stay in a well-to-do. Anytime I'm talking about moving somewhere, it's going to be something nice. So I know that there, like here, even though they try to hide it here, okay, it's here too. But there's a lot of poverty there, so I know I would want to live somewhere, little upscale. This is like
Hmm.
a dream house, right? Type situation. Why can I not remember the name of that place? It was beautiful too. I had a nice time. I went out into the local markets.
Nice. Nice. That's amazing.
Did you say you wanted to live in Rome, Monty?
And where?
Rome?
No, that wasn't me.
You said Roman.
No. I, I,
Oh, okay. I misheard you.
yeah, would I want to live in Rome? And I said, I would be a roamer, as in,
Oh,
live,
I
different
see.
places all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, no worries. It's all good. But yeah, being a nomadic lifestyle is good for a lot of people. We're in Jamaica. Am I from like Montego Bay? Is
I've been there.
where, yeah, my family's from. Like is like a really small country when you consider things, but it felt really huge growing up. Like if you that's all you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've traveled all over Jamaica in a practically a day. We went from Montego Bay, Falmouth, Runaway Bay, Ocho Rios, past Aracabessa, into Buff Bay. We went through the Blue Mountains, which is treacherous, by the way, like winding roads. Then into Kingston, we went to Port Royal and hung out in Port Royal, ate dinner there. Like we left not super early in the morning, Montego Bay, and went all the way across and down. Ate dinner in Port Royal, left Port Royal, went through Spanish Town, past Portmore, and then went into Mandeville area, reached there nighttime, slept, and then back to Montego Bay after. So yeah, you could travel from one end of Jamaica to the other in a couple hours. It's not bad.
Oh, wow. So,
Mhm.
like, how many hours was that?
If you leave Montego Bay, maybe 7 o'clock, 7, 8, you can get to Kingston with ease, even going through like the Blue Mountains and not taking the highway, because now we have established highways, right? So you could get to Kingston in about like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, maybe
Oh,
even less. Let me check because
from
things have
where?
changed
From
from Montego
where?
Bay. From Montego Bay.
Oh, that is a very small country
Yeah, okay. Now it's saying
when you say
it's
that to
about
get
less than three
perspective.
hours. It's less than 3 hours now. Before, you would have to wake up super early in the morning and you'd be in Kingston in maybe 5, 6. But with the introduction of the highway that is being implemented all over Jamaica now, it cuts your travel time down to half. So in like 2 hours, 45 minutes, you can be in Kingston, which isn't bad.
Yeah, okay. Now that you give me that perspective, that is a very small country in terms of scale, compared to like here. Because, like I said, Chattanooga, Tennessee is just 2 hours away from Atlanta. And you
Yeah.
just said you can reach Montego Bay to Kingston with the highway and traffic being good is about 3 hours in Jamaica. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things have changed. All right.
Hey,
Yeah. Well,
Juicer.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Is smoking in the on Tuesday morning a prerequisite for coming on the panel?
No.
It's a prerequisite for every day for me.
This is unusual for me. I have the whole summer off. I took a sabbatical. I'm usually doing, 40-hour, 45, 55-hour work weeks. And so to be able to have time to do this on a Tuesday morning is it's a privilege.
Oh, wow. Well, congrats
Wow.
to you for taking the time off.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
address some health stuff. So I'll still be busy, but I'm going to be able to work a little bit more on my channel, and I'm going to be able to visit channels I admire, and I'm going to be able to do things like this. I'm extremely shy. I'm actually shaking right now. Um,
Oh.
but I told Monty a long time ago that if I ever was able to mentally get it together to do something like this, I would do it. And it just felt like the right time because it felt like a real positive conversation going on. I like Miami. I go into her chats a lot.
Thanks,
Um,
Juicer.
she's into nostalgia like I am. I'm very into the 70s and 80s.
Mm.
I met her because it came up on my recommended Jet magazine, which is, one of I always like things when people start looking at their magazines from the 80s, and that really interests me. So that's how I found Miami, through something really positive and sweet.
Mm.
And I'm
I
looking
gotta
for
do another.
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
that kind
Go
of
ahead.
stuff really helps me with my depression and getting out of myself. Just, it was such an
Mm.
interesting thing that you did. And seeing
Wow.
a lot of the ads from the 80s, and the car ads and the hair product ads, and just really, it just brings me back, makes me think about my
Aren't they
mom, just I like things like that a lot.
cute?
And
Well, I gotta do more now that you said that it helps you with your depression. That's I got once I get a new tripod, I can start doing them again. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
cool.
glad that helped you.
Yeah, it really did. That's kind of how I found you. Well, that's exactly how I found you. But you guys were talking about Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica many times. I had a girlfriend in Port Antonio and St. Anne, and uh, Jamaica was, I was going through a lot of my stuff, and I found a picture of me and a donkey in Ocho Rios. I know Ocho Rios. We were going to see the waterfalls, but we got distracted by a beautiful donkey on the side of the road. So, whoa, I have sensory issues, so loud noises kind of freak me out. But yeah. So Monty's muted.
I am muted. I'm
Was
listening
it
to
was it
you and
something I
whatnot.
what was it something I said?
No. I'm just here listening to you about your Port Antonio stories and whatnot.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever go to the island in Port Antonio called Admiralty Island? It was an island owned
Mm.
by an actor named Errol Flynn in the 1950s, and you can go visit the island, and they take you on a tour. And
Is that the same as Navy Island?
it could have been called Navy Island. It was all the way up at the tip. You could
Yeah, I
actually
think
you could see Cuba. They had a scope on there where you could actually look and see Cuba, and it
Wow.
it was just a really cool place to go. But you felt very isolated. When you're young, I didn't have the anxiety that I have now. I didn't, it was my world was a little bit different. So, but I couldn't imagine going there today and feeling that isolated. Tiny boat in,
What do you
tiny boat
mean?
out. It was
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you had to go from Port Antonio to this on this tiny boat, and I had all my camera gear. I was a
hmm
working photographer back then. And you to go back and forth, and you're getting wet, and it was when you're young, that stuff is exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
fascinated by
cool.
different places in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I haven't visited all of Jamaica because
Mm,
the most I've gone east is Kingston and through the Blue Mountains, taking the B1. Like I've not
yeah.
gone to Port Antonio, so that part of the island is on my to do list. Like if you talk about Hope Bay, Snow Hill, Port Antonio, Ferry Hill,
Mm.
Boston Bay, anything to do with that parish on that side, I'm like Portland Parish or St. Thomas. I've not been
Mm.
there. I've never stepped foot in
Oh,
St.
okay.
Thomas or Portland Parish. So you are actually giving me news here. When you talk to me about all these things that's happened, I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
I was there during the I don't know if you remember the first time I went was during the food shortage where it was like 88, 89, maybe 90. And, you would go into a convenience store to buy food because we were thirsty. We were looking for ting, I don't drink beer. So Red Stripe was out of the question. So I just wanted a
Mhm.
nice cool ting. And there was really nothing on the shelves. There was like uh, diapers, disposable
Mhm.
diapers, and tampons. That was all that was in the stores. And I would say, "Do you have any food?" And they would look at me and start laughing, because they'd hear my accent. And
Yeah.
in back in those days, they didn't really like Americans. So I was warned by a person I was with that if somebody says where are you from, don't say the U.S. Always say you're from Canada, because
Yeah.
they did not like Americans back then for
Mhm.
some reason. But I understand it. Americans go to countries, they start acting a fool. I mean, I think the first Karen was born in America, so I know how we act in other countries.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation, but it is what it is. But I appreciate you letting me come up and visit. It's my first time on anyone's panel.
Oh, well,
It just
congrats.
felt right. It just
Yeah,
felt right.
that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Um,
a fish by any other name. I worked for a newspaper for many, many years. I retired. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune illness, and I retired in about 2005, six, and I work in a different. Now I can barely even hold my old cameras. I had an old Nikon F2 that today I wouldn't even be able to hold it. Um, a membership again? Oh, Alien Tourist needs the join button.
okay, I'll give that right now. What I was gonna say is, what was happening is, for the you talked about the food shortage. I was isolated
Okay.
from that because I say I'm from Mobay, but what happened is that my family is actually country folk. We were
Okay.
in like uh unknown super small town, and then each of my aunts and my mom would gravitate towards like a bigger town, right, slash city, which would be
Okay.
Montego Bay, or you would go to like Savannah Lamar,
Okay.
aka Sav. So that's where we originally from. So there's a thing where you can get isolated from certain things if there's a food shortage, because a lot of people still do live off the land. So what I mean by that, there's people who literally they just grow their own fruits, veggies, and
Mm.
whatnot, and that's how they live. They get their goats, they get a few goats, the goats will breed, and then that's how they get their meat, or they'll barter. Like, I have like lots of fruits and veggies. Thanks for joining Alien Tourist. I'll barter you for, some of what you have. So
Okay.
there was a lot of the one thing I do remember is the Hurricane Gilbert, because I
Oh,
actually
wow.
been in quite a few hurricanes actually.
Wow.
1988, I remember that because a tree dropped straight down on my neighbor's house and just
Wow.
caved it in. And they were okay though, but I remember as a child, this is me being a little child, and this is 1988, and the hurricane just, I was outside with the winds blowing and everything and back and forth. And yeah, like my neighbor, unfortunately, there was a huge ass breadfruit tree, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah, I love breadfruit.
Yeah, and it just dropped straight on their roof, caved it all in, but they were okay though.
There's a ting. Yeah, ting is very sugary. Very
Yeah.
delicious. Very
So,
delicious.
yeah, I love Ting. Ting
Yeah.
is amazing. If you
I
don't
had
know
a
what Ting
T-shirt.
is,
I had a,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, no, no. God, tell them what Ting is, and
Yeah,
then I'll tell you
Ting
about
Ting
my.
is a grapefruit drink. So it's
Right.
made of grapefruit. And now you have like pink Ting. So the original
Oh,
was
really?
green. Yeah, there's pink Ting for grapefruit, but it's pink grapefruit.
Oh, wow. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, delicious.
everybody's used to the green bottle Ting. Yeah, it's extremely
Yes,
delicious.
the green bottle with the pink, not with the yellowish grapefruit soda inside. You needed to
Ugh.
carry around. I was carrying around a toothbrush with me back in those days because I just the sugar. I was a sugar person, and you'd have to drink your Ting and then run off and brush your teeth.
Right?
It would just really lay on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys were talking about Pete's earlier, and I did mention that I think he's on the spectrum, but I also do think his comorbidity is laziness. You're absolutely right. He's just a lazy
I agree.
person. Hmm?
I agree.
Miami? Are you there?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you hear me? I
Yeah.
agree.
It sounds like you're doing something. I don't want to ask what because you never know with Miami
What does it sound like?
what she's up to. You never know what I
Good
almost
Lord, not on the panel,
I
Jesus.
am almost afraid to ask what you're doing, but
Not on the panel, Jesus. What does it sound like I'm doing?
Oh
Does
wait,
it?
Edna is calling me out. Did I use that properly? I mean, it is
Yeah.
part of his symptoms. Laziness could be, part of I mean, if you see hoarders, that's part of their diagnoses is they just don't feel like getting up and doing it.
Doing something.
Yeah, and it's mental illness is always the beginning of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But oh wait, Edna said I'm funny. Okay, I thought Edna was,
Yeah,
was
that was
giving me
funny.
a lesson in public speaking. I'm just really not good at this. Um,
No,
I,
you're fine.
okay, and everyone can hear me. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, everyone
I
can
hear
hear
you.
you okay. You're fine.
okay, perfect.
I don't think we just getting up here talking. I don't have
Yeah,
no skills.
yeah, I do appreciate that. That's why I felt comfortable enough to come on to even, to even ask Monty.
Yeah.
Um,
You saw how bad I was doing and you were like, oh hell, I can go in there too.
no,
I'm
not at all.
kidding. I'm
Your
kidding.
energy that it's the opposite. Your energy is actually very welcoming. There are panels in the past that he's done where I've wanted to come on, but the energy of you know um,
Oh good.
loud speaking will freak me out, and kind of name calling will freak me out, and just I just I have to feel like I'm in a place where I'll be okay. When I say name calling, I mean, like, how if you guys are covering something and we have to get into some stuff about what they're doing, and like if Foodie is doing something really really bad, I want to be able to say what she's doing, because a lot of the times it is a negative thing what she's doing, but it's how it's said. And sometimes when there are panels, people get really loud and kind of like and it just makes me, I don't know why, it makes me uncomfortable. I'll get used to it and I'll be able to deal with it more, but it's just I don't know.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, we get it.
It's hard,
We
hard
get
to
it.
explain. Hard to
Yeah.
It could be
explain.
toxic.
I got
Mm-hmm.
It's
comorbidities as
toxic.
well, obviously.
Yeah.
So okay, thanks, Polly. I appreciate that. This is sex. Okay, scary old internet lady juicer. This is star eyes smiley. I'm not sure what that means.
Uh,
Iconic. It's iconic.
yeah,
Oh
she's
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
Is
heard
this
you
your
on
first time?
first time ever on a panel.
You are a
I
virgin. This is your very
yeah,
first time. I'm so glad. I was
let's
just
see.
saying. I'm so glad I can give someone their first time. I was just saying that. I was like,
Miami, don't even go there.
me and Monty double team.
Oh my God. See, this is the kind of stuff I might faint. I might faint. You are helping out a lot. Okay, wait a second. Who's Shiara? See, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Shiara 888 Juicer. You are helping out a lot of people just by being present. Well, that's interesting. I appreciate that. Well, so does Monty, because there are times where, I'll be in full panic attack mode and then I'll just click on him, Monty doing his thing and talking about, even if it's DLF, who I don't even like to watch, but just the narration can bring me down. The narration of his voice and the calmness can bring me back from wherever I was.
Mm-hmm.
So it is much appreciated. Um, yeah, lighthearted and fun. That's right. I'm a scary old internet lady myself. I'm much older than all you guys. I saw a stream I told Miami last night, I saw a stream with her from like 13 years ago. She hasn't aged a minute.
Thank you.
Not a wrinkle. It's wild.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Juicer.
Mary Higgins, this is my vibe. Yeah. Yeah. So Edna's throwing hearts. Edna's a nice person.
Yeah.
She's great. I can barely read a lot of the chat. I can barely see it, but
That's all good. Yeah,
oh
we
yeah.
get in a lot of positive comments about this,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Black don't crack. I don't know if that is. I think that's a myth, because you have to understand, when we grow up, we don't go to the beach and put olive oil on and suntan lotion and lay out on the beach. So that could be it as well, because black certainly did crack for my great grandmother who worked in a field.
Oh yeah.
So I think a lot of it is just a myth. The black don't crack. But
I'm sorry I laughed at that.
Yeah,
This was
it
funny
sounds
because you were
cool.
like, some of it cracked.
Yeah, it does sound cool, but it's just, what happened for being a journalist? What happened from being a journalist? Well, I was a journalist for almost 40 years, and stress was not my diagnosis. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune illness, and it made it difficult to travel. I did travel a lot for work, and it made it difficult for me to go to the places I, couldn't go anymore. The medication I'm on lowers my immune system, so I couldn't go into jails and interview people anymore. I couldn't do a lot of things.
I see. Yeah, that's very.
Oh yeah, Janine. I'm around your age, hon. I'm around your age. So we both. Yeah, we both grew up in the '60s. I always find African Americans age much more gracefully. I don't know about that, but yeah, I guess it depends on who you are, how you live your life, what you're eating, what you're smoking, what you're drinking. There's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I met an actress when I was working for the newspaper, and I would meet actresses in their 80s and 90s, and they would be tap dancing and showing me what they could do. And these were ladies that were not African American descent or Caribbean descent. They were, Irish descent and Scottish descent and from England. I mean, there's some really beautiful actresses from England look at Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren is, she's what, 79? It's fantastic. But
but I always say people that have access to those beauty treatments and stuff and all that money.
Well, you know what it really is. It really isn't the beauty treatments. It really is our food.
Right.
And people that have access to I go to the Ralph supermarket. That's where I go once in a while when I'm feeling, crazy. I'll go to the Whole Foods. I'll go to the Air One, very expensive food, but that food doesn't have the stuff in it that I'm usually used to eating. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of it is
you're right.
It's the food. It's what they're putting in what we're putting in our mouths, and where we're from. And scary old internet lady, pandemic changed everything in our family. Well, the pandemic completely changed me. The lockdown almost. I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was.
You know what?
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, hon.
I
I
just
was
wanted to
done.
slip in. You mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think your grandmother aged
Great
differently. She aged
great
so
grandmother because of where they had her
she
working.
worked in the field, out in the
Right,
sun. So I have
right.
something to tell you. I don't do it. I haven't been doing it for long, but I sunbathe. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm always mindful of the sun because, but like working in it every day is different than like what I do, of course. But that's something that can
Well,
age you too is the sun.
if
But I like
you're
it.
okay, so Lindsay's saying take black seed oil and all your supplements, of course, but you got to wear the sunscreen as well, and I recommend SPF
Mhm.
45 or higher. As
Yeah, I
and
will.
people will say, well, you're black, you don't need it, but you just Google Manute Bol, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, who was adopted, and they said that he didn't need it either, and he died of melanoma. So, yeah,
Mm.
anybody is susceptible to the damage of the sun. So that's how I
Yes,
feel
and he was
about it.
very dark.
Very dark.
Yeah, I
His
mean, I
children
wear
are dark.
sunscreen because I'll burn.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
wear
always
sunscreen. I think
surprised
mine is like
about
15.
SPF what?
I think it's
What is
15. Wait a minute, it's sitting on the
15
porch
is
right now
nothing.
because I was just sunbathing.
15 is nothing. I don't even
Wait a
wear
minute.
50. I don't even wear
Oh,
15 in the rain.
I'm really curious now.
40
Y'all gonna make me step outside.
I wear 45 or above.
I told a big old no, it's 15.
Yeah, 15 is well, what is 15?
I don't know, but that's what this
It
is.
all
Copper
I
tone
know is
tanning.
it must be nice to be young because when I was young I could get away with that too. But when you start getting into your 40s, you gotta raise that SPF, and when you start getting little
I
marks on your forehead removed, when I moved from New York to California, I learned a lot about sun damage and what the sun can do to you and that it could actually kill you. I had no idea. But when you live in New York, you don't think about it because you have the buildings to protect you. There's always, cool
yeah.
weather and, blah, blah, blah. Who's driving to the beach? Even though I owned a home at the beach, I still was not a beach person, and if we did, we were under an awning. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so fish by any other name. My aunt is an esthetician and told me just to stay out of the sun altogether. Yeah, a lot of people say that. I mean, I wear long sleeves, and by the way, the shirt I'm wearing right now is a fisherman's shirt. It's long sleeve and it's SPF 50. You can
I
get
know
them
what you're
on
talking about.
Amazon, and it's
Yeah.
what fishermen use. It comes with a hood. It has even a thing to cover your face, so when you're out on the water, you protect yourself.
Yeah, those are very popular around here. And they have that vent in the back.
Oh yeah,
I've heard it before, yeah.
yeah.
But y'all don't kill my dream because like sunbathing, I don't do it that often. But I am gonna upgrade my skin protection though too.
Where
I've
are you
wanted to look at something
where
really
are you
good.
sunbathing when you go sunbathing? Are you talking about mowing the lawn in a
My
bikini? Because
backyard.
I've seen you do that.
No, not there. Well,
Not
yeah,
that
I did that,
SPF
but
5,000. Polly
almost
says
time to do that again.
SPF 5,000. Didn't
Sorry.
RoboCop have SPF
You
5,000?
can be pale as hell. Ain't getting no vitamin D.
Are you getting D3? Are you taking vitamins that are D3?
I used to, but I just do it because it's relaxing. It's like a warm hug, and I just put my
Okay,
music on.
that's why I go to Hawaii when I'm in the process of having a nervous breakdown. I did that in September, October. I mean, that's what we do there, because it does feel like a warm hug. But to
Bye
lay
bye,
out,
Edna.
oh, bye Edna, to lay out, mm, I don't know.
Yeah, I do it in my backyard on the lounge when I have a lounge chair.
Did you
I
ever
do it
go?
in my backyard.
When you were in Jamaica, did you go snorkeling, or did you ever go to any other Caribbean islands where snorkeling is a big deal? Like, did you ever go to any of the U.S. Virgin Islands, like St. John or anything like that?
I've only been to Jamaica
Oh, okay, okay.
that
Never went.
one
Never
time.
went. Uh, I was just thinking about Cozumel. I couldn't qualify for the diving because I have asthma. But their backs were getting so burned just hanging out in the water, and
Ooh.
it's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I love the heat.
Who's
It
talking
and it
about?
actually is a it's very
Wow.
much a turn on for me too. It makes
Hey,
me feel very connected with nature.
hey, Polly, you want a fun fact about Okinawa? I'll give you a fun fact, and then I'm going to let Monty have his show back.
Yeah, go ahead.
My cousins were conceived in Okinawa during the war.
Mm.
I didn't know the island of Okinawa had excellent snorkeling. I just know about the war there because of my uncle's, war stories that he used to tell in the 70s. But his kids were conceived in the 50s during the war.
Mm.
Oh, the Hawaii is the world's hug box. Right now, Kailua is having Kailua is having a volcano eruption. So there's lots of stuff going on over there. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But Kauai is a great island. Maui is where I go. But no, they're not Japanese. They're half Caribbean and half Okinawan. I don't know if Japan still owns the territory of Okinawa. I don't know if it's still a territory of Japan. Yeah, I don't know. This was the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I haven't seen my cousins, and my dad died many years ago, and his brothers all died many years ago too.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Oh no, it's it is what it is. Oh, Japan. Okay, so back in those days, was Okinawa ever? Did they ever find independency? I think Polly's a photographer
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Japan owns
Okay,
Okinawa.
still okay, gotcha. I think Polly's a photographer as well, but I'm not sure. No, okay, Polly.
But
Okay,
yeah, interesting conversation with like a lot of stuff going on.
yeah,
No, such a huge world.
it really is. It really is a big world. Um,
And
okay,
yet so small.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that too. That too.
For
I
sure.
need to hear these stories. I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but I want to hear certain stories from you. But when you get your
Yeah.
feet warm, wet. But if you're never
Are you
comfortable, it's fine. But I find it fascinating.
are you talking
I
to
don't
me
want
or
to put you.
Monty?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, me. I'm sorry. My ADD kicked in and I just went ding. Did you
It's
say?
all good. I said I would love to hear when you're more comfortable certain stories from you. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to put it out there, but if
Oh,
you are
you mean
never
what
comfortable,
the clubs I used to go to with the older women?
well, I don't know who you went with, but the
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, I just spilled the
the
beans
place
on
out there
myself.
in California.
No, it was not in California. I didn't come out to California until after
Was it
9/11.
in New York? Wherever it was, the
Plato's was in
retreat.
New York. Plato's was in New York.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'd love to hear some conversations about that. I'm sure you guys can maybe
Things were a
collab.
lot things were a lot different then. It was the beginning of our my first experience with pandemia, and that is the AIDS crisis. So there was a lot of stuff going on in New York in the very early 80s. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those clubs got shut down really, really quickly.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a Google Doodle like 2 days ago, yesterday, 2 days ago about what was the gentleman's name? Yes, yeah, Willie Ninja.
Oh,
They
Willie
did it.
Ninja, the dancer, he invented
Yes.
Vogue. So when you see Madonna doing Vogue,
Yeah, strike the
that's who
pose.
that's who she
Yeah.
stole. That's who she stole it from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who Willie Ninja was. He comes from Harlem, the drag balls in Harlem. Great man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he's still alive or not. Do you know if he's still alive, Willie Ninja?
He's not. He died of complications due
Oh, okay.
to AIDS.
Yeah, that I lost like most of my friends in the 80s and 90s. That was pretty bad. People I went to school with, people I worked with. Yeah, it was. I mean, in the very early stages, it was shocking because they all told us, if you're a gay guy, If you're using needles, you have a problem. But the funerals I was going to in the very early 80s was all heterosexual women, beautiful women. And we were completely confused. And it was mainly, and then we found out years later, it was because their husbands were on the DL or their partners were on the DL. And that's when it first started hitting us really, really hard. Was that women, heterosexual women who did not use needles were just dropping like flies. Very scary.
Yeah, scary time.
Who wants to hear more about the Jamaican? I didn't have a Jamaican girlfriend. I went there.
Yeah, you did. You
because-
said you had a Jamaican girlfriend.
Her parents.
Yeah,
her
no,
parents,
wait a minute.
her parents.
I meant to backtrack to
parents-
that too. You had
her
two,
parents-
right?
Yeah, he said he had two.
Her parents were missionaries. She was not Jamaican. She was Canadian. Her parents were missionaries.
Okay.
That's why she was in St. Ann. That's why she was in Port Antonio. That's why there was a lot of moving around for her. But she was not Jamaican. She didn't look Jamaican either. We used to get followed around and threatened with machetes because she did not look Jamaican. I looked more Jamaican than she did. She looked like, she looked, well, Susan kind of was, she looked like the daughter of a missionary.
All right. So you guys used to get chased with machetes back in
Well,
those days?
not chased, but people were kind of in those days. They were kind of confused of what we were doing, walking down the street together. And she.
And this was the
she
80s.
Yeah, the first time I went was in 80. To see her was 87 or 88. But yeah, but she was not Jamaican. I mean, I probably would have rather had a Jamaican girl, but she. Jamaican girls aren't interested in Americans, by the way. That's what I noticed about being there.
Really?
They were not interested back in those days. I mean, now, I think the world is different,
Yeah.
but back in those days, people were telling me not to tell them you were American. That's how much they disliked Black Americans over there. I guess they felt we were spoiled. We were brats. Americans act a certain way in certain countries. It's kind of,
Okay.
Age is very treatable now. But it still doesn't mean we shouldn't be careful. People shouldn't be careful. A lot of people are getting it. There was an Instagram model who got it bad, and she didn't know it until she was in a really bad situation. I forgot her name, but I don't even know if she's walking. I still think she's in a
Jenna
wheelchair.
too.
You remember?
Jenna too.
Yeah, I think you talked about her maybe.
I did not. It's not the type of topic I typically talked about, but I know about it. But yeah, she's HIV positive. She's blind again after eye surgery. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! Oh man! And if she, every year you do your blood work and your panels done, and you go for your big checkup and stuff, and they ask you, do you want to be tested for it? And most people always say yes. I mean, I'm surprised. Maybe, a lot of young people, they don't go to the doctors the way older people go to the doctors. So maybe they just didn't catch it fast enough.
Well, some people don't even want to go for checkups.
Yeah, I know. We watch that a lot in the girl world, the girls, a lot of them say they go to the doctor, but I mean, do you think that, I don't even think that Foodie or ALR or some of the other girls could even fit, when I sit on the table, I'm 215 pounds. When I sit on the table, I hear the table creaking, and I get really nervous, and I got to get a whole workup and, the whole body thing and stuff. And I always think, could Foodie fit on here? Could ALR fit on here? Could those girls fit on this table and get a full body workup? Could ALR get an internal exam? Could she get a pap smear? Is that possible?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm always curious.
I know they got something they could do. I mean, they could work, not to be condescending towards them, but they can work on horses.
Horses?
So, I mean, I know they got.
Who's working on
you can
horses?
do medical.
My doctor doesn't work on horses.
A veterinarian.
What are you trying to say?
I mean,
I don't go to
I'm
a vet.
saying humans. Humans can work on larger animals, so they should be able to work on somebody like Foodie and making, accommodations for people that are larger. Like it's got to be some
I don't
way
know
to-
if I want to. I don't know if I'm ready to compare any of those girls to large animals.
No,
But
No,
I
I
mean,
didn't mean it to come off
there are
like
certain ways
that.
we sit on the table and put our feet in the stirrups
Yeah, I know.
to get an internal exam. So
You're right.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen a full shot of Amber Lynn.
Yeah.
I,
Oh, a full
I don't know
shot.
why.
Oh, a full body shot. Okay, yeah, full clothed body shot. Yes, I've seen
Have
her
you?
like that.
Have you?
Yeah. There are people that have pictures, videos made of her body progression from like when she first started doing YouTube to now.
Do you think that
hmm
she could sit on the table where I get my checkups and put her feet in the stirrups and it wouldn't be a problem?
An average size table, probably not. I don't know though.
And you think they're
The
ordering
ones
special
I've
tables now?
seen,
I mean, you're right. They could be
it
ordering
looks
special tables
slim.
and special gurneys, but I know if Foodie does have a medical issue in Kuwait, I researched it. They do not have double wide gurneys. He's going to have
Oh
to
my
get her
god,
in that new car and get her to the hospital. I don't think they're coming for her.
crazy. That's cray cray.
It's sad.
It is.
Yeah, you're
It
Oh
right.
is.
wow, Janine Morrison is at the doctor every week, audiologist. I'm sorry, honey. That's sad. And she says, hell no, she doesn't think it could work. I mean, I don't know what kind of accommodations. I mean, I know that we have this community now that's very positive and fat positive, but I don't know all the, I mean, airplane seats are the same size that they've been for probably 20 years. I remember getting on regular airplanes in the 80s and 90s and even earlier, and they were bigger. Yes, they were bigger. They're getting smaller. But I don't know the kind of accommodations medical is making. I don't know if they're going out of their way to make, double wide. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Examination tables, you know what I mean?
I think I was watching a documentary on
Yes.
that, and
Yeah,
they're like,
there
they're
you're
that
right.
things are changing, but yeah, the standard, even in with funerals, they're like the coffins, for if you're a big, like a really bigger person, they have difficulty putting them into the standard coffins.
Yeah,
So
and
what?
it's also they have to double staff for the I worked on a story once. I don't know if you remember Walter Hudson. He was a guy from the Bronx who, when he died, he was like at 700 pounds. They have to hire extra staff at the preparation in the preparation rooms at the funeral home as well.
Hmm.
And those caskets are like 100 grand. I
Yeah,
mean, and it takes, how long does it take to cremate someone that size? A week? That's a lot of resources. That's expensive. Um, I don't know. I'm exaggerating on the week, but it takes a lot longer. I don't really know how that works. I can only imagine the afterlife business when they have to deal with this. I don't
yeah,
even like thinking about it. I don't like to think about Life by Jen, rest her soul. I don't like to think about it, but I mean,
Mhm.
wow, you know.
Well, I mean, it is a reality.
Yes, you're right.
yeah, for sure, 100%.
Job and a half, Janine says. You're right.
Hmm. But
Perfect.
yeah, times, like I said, times are changing. Their coffin industry now, you got to go to specialists that have like the bigger coffins for people who are bigger.
Well, they build them. They
Yeah,
have them
yeah, they
built.
got to build them
Yeah.
custom,
Because the story I worked on
shipped
in the
in.
90s, Walter Hudson, they literally built it and then they told the press so they could get, people used to tell the press stories to get on the front page. They told the press it was a piano case, which it wasn't. So that's why you hear the stories. If you Google Walter Hudson, it talks about, I don't know if they can cremate people that size. I heard it takes like a week and people just usually respectfully decline the family. Um, they put out the story that it was a piano case just to make it more sensational, but it was a mess. I mean, to get him out after he died, they had to take a wall down of the house.
Hmm. If anybody doesn't know the story, he's from Hempstead, New York, or was from Hempstead. He was once
Okay,
the world's heaviest man at
right.
1,400 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah, but when he
Yeah.
died, I think Dick Gregory moved in and started putting him on a liquid diet and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah.
after he
He
gained
changed
all
his
the way back.
diet. Yeah.
Yeah, gained all the way back. And I think when he died, I think he clocked in at about 790 something. I'm trying to remember. It's a
Oh,
long.
wait a minute. Hold up. So this man was 1,400 pounds, and Dick Gregory came in, and the man lost 700 pounds.
Dick Gregory got him down to like 500 something. Dick Gregory worked with
Dick
him.
Gregory is a national treasure. I've heard so many
He's a
stories like that about him
dude.
getting people's health back on track.
Well, he was even before Dr. Sebi, he was into all that health stuff. I learned about chlorophyll and all that stuff in the 80s because I would read his books and stuff. He was a great comedian too. That's where he comes from. He's
Yeah.
a comedian and activist, great activist. And
Yeah.
but yeah, he moved in and tried to help the family. But that's when you realize when I worked on the story, I realized this isn't really about food. This isn't about protein shakes. This is mental trauma. Something happened to this guy and they don't address it. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about the reason why he was doing this type of eating. I mean, to the point where the family is waiting on him hand and foot. That's like when Dr. Now walks in the room and says, well, how do you get the food if you can't, get out of bed? And he starts looking at the family and saying, it was really, it's the first time I ever saw that too, back in those days. I never, back in those days, I don't know if Miami, you remember, if you saw somebody who was 400 pounds, it was really something. I mean, it was like every 3 years you saw that. I see somebody that big maybe once a month. I live in Los Angeles too, so it's kind of rare to but if you go to Houston, when I was in Austin, Texas, I went camping in Austin, RVing in Austin, Texas a few years ago. It was the complete normal thing to see somebody, at the barbecue with the fupa twice the size of Foodie Beauty and just cooking big old steaks and stuff.
Yeah, in certain
normal.
areas, states, cities, it's just normalized to have like all these big people with breathing problems, walking like waddling back and forth. It's just a thing. It depends on where you
Um,
are, where you go.
I see a variety of people. Yes, I do see people. Do I see people like that? Yeah, I do.
Well, you're in the state of Georgia, so.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But you're
I see
also
people
in
like that. Yeah.
Atlanta, where you have some of the best bodies in the United States. So
Well, I moved from Atlanta to where I am now, which is Morrow. I live in Morrow, which is a suburb south of Atlanta, but I'm like 15 minutes away from Atlanta. It's not super far. It's like below the airport, but it's a more like you do see bigger bodies, but in Atlanta, there's a different variety of people.
okay.
Out here, it's kind of country-ish type. So I do see big old folks because I was just in Walmart the other day and I saw somebody on a scooter.
Oh, you
And I
did?
noticed it now because I watch Girl World. Whenever somebody big is on a scooter, it make me think of Amber
Yeah, I know. I actually go to Walmart and look for people that vlog. Walmart is not my thing. It's just too big. I have a weird thing about crowds and stuff. So I can only really go to places that I'm comfortable in or stuff. But I like to go to Walmart to people watch. People are really interesting, and the most interesting people happen to be in Walmart. So it's fun. It's funny,
Mhm.
It can
and
be.
I think it's so funny. I think, wow, you got that cough. What's that cough from?
I'm token. I'm sorry. I'm in my garage.
Hey, Miami, do you remember the movie called with Ryan O'Neal and Barbara Streisand called The Main Event? Do you remember that
No,
movie? Oh, there's an
no.
actress in there. She used to be married to Don Johnson, so you better see that movie. There's an actress in there who was married to Don Johnson at the time, right? And she plays the girlfriend of
Mhm.
Ryan O'Neal, and she's got a cough in that movie, man. She's got the cough. The whole movie is built around this chick coughing, and it's just so funny.
Are you
But
serious?
yeah, it's a good film. It's. But I know you like the Miami Vice. So the actress, I can't
Mhm.
think of her name. She's New Orleans French. She has a French last name. She's still around.
Um,
She was on The Sopranos. She was on The Sopranos. I can't think of her name. Whoa, wow.
I try to mute. I'm so sorry. I try to
Oh,
mute.
It's awesome. No, I mean, I just have my own issues with hearing and sounds and different things like that. They startle me. But yeah, the movie's called The Main Event. It's a Streisand production. It stars Ryan O'Neal, and his girlfriend is played by a woman. She has like a French, New Orleans French name. At the time, she was married to Don Johnson, and she has one of his sons. So
Okay.
if you like to know the backstory of the Miami, stuff like that. So, and it's really interesting because fast forward 15 years and Streisand started dating Don Johnson. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, that I know. That I know. I don't remember it because I was very
I
young, but
remember it. I remember when they were making that.
I know you remember it.
Yeah, I remember when they were
But I
making
think they did. That's what I was gonna say. I think maybe it was connected to that single they had.
Oh, the people
Because
watching.
you know how publicity does.
Do I know how what?
You know how publicity does. Like you know how they do. Come on,
I worked
like
in
if
the
somebody's
PR.
making records
I
with
worked in the
somebody,
PR
they
department at
overdo
different
it.
places. I know exactly what we do. I know exactly.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I also can do the research and figure it out whether somebody is pulling the wool over our eyes too. Patty D'Arbanville, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Six Sticks is on top of it. Patty D'Arbanville is her name, New Orleans,
Oh, okay.
and she had the best cough in that movie. It's hilarious, actually. Every time she coughs, Streisand jumps like Revelation News. You know how when Revelation News used to jump when Shani coughed, he would like jump out of his skin. It's like that. It's very funny. But you just reminded me of that. I don't know why.
That must be a very powerful song.
Oh, in the movie, it's hilarious. And the fact that she could do it on cue was even better.
It sounds silly.
Yeah.
I used to work
Wow.
at Sam's Club. When I worked the door, I got so pissed because of a whole family, kids, and all took all the scooters, and every one was enormous, and the scooters had a death rattle.
They had a what?
A
They
death
had a death
rattle.
rattle. Oh
I guess they
no.
were all collectively killing the scooters. I guess. Excuse me for using that word. It's
It's okay.
not a good YouTube
Yeah,
word.
there's a lot of large families out there,
Is it a generational thing? Because I'm chubby and my sisters are all very petite
Well,
and thin. Well, my one sister, who actually just passed away, she was a model in the 60s. She was very tall and thin. Um, but I'm chubby. I'm 215 right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with my anxiety because I eat my feelings like you wouldn't believe. I used to eat more than Foodie Beauty, and I don't know how I'm not 400 pounds sometimes when I think about how I eat. Yeah, I don't do the high fructose corn syrup. I remember working on a story in the early 80s, and once the corn growers got the okay to turn corn into high fructose corn syrup, I think Ronald Reagan gave them the okay. That's when all our problems started because our bodies can't process, metabolize, digest that. So it goes,
Mm.
yeah, Janine's chubby too. Well, good thing Monty's skinny, so, and Miami's skinny, so
Shit.
that's
But
motivation.
thank you.
Foodie Beauty
I'm
is
not
going
skinny,
on.
but thank you.
Well, you're a good size, and your
I'm
weight
your weight.
your weight hasn't
You said,
changed since since when I saw that video of you in 2009 or something like that. So that's a good
that's
sign.
not a
That's a
good.
good sign of healthy
I don't think
behavior
it's
when
a
it
good.
comes to eating. You know, I don't
yeah.
have
Well,
the
thank
same. I don't have the same healthy attitude when it comes to food. I just want to feel better, and so I use food to feel better, which is probably one of the reasons why I can identify with people like Foodie Beauty, Amberlynn Reed. I can identify with them. Absolute. So, I mean, yeah, the UK does not allow it, and I understand why. And I love the UK. I love their breakfast. I think their breakfast is stimulates the mind and helps children learn more in school. I mean, basically, when we were kids, what were we eating before we went to school? It's just sugary cereal. Come on,
Hmm.
um, not good.
Yeah, there's like so much. Celebrity Juicer, I think we could talk about, your lifestyle and, a lot of stuff you've gone through, your experiences. You're always welcome to come up on panel.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, especially since you have some time right now. You got a sabbatical going on and
I
whatnot.
do. I have the whole
Yeah,
entire summer off. So,
that's awesome. So I'll expect you here more often then.
okay, I'll try. It's
Yeah,
nerve wracking. It's very, very,
you'll get used to it. Yeah, my first
mm.
time, it was nerve wracking as well. I think a lot of people's first times. If you're not used to, you don't know what's going on, right?
Well, I tried. I tried to do a couple of live streams. I did some tests, and it made me so uncomfortable. It caused, it took me like a week or two to get over it.
Hmm.
So, I'll try though. I'll try to.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a lot of motivation. You guys really motivate me. It's just there's so many channels that I love and admire, and that are just so much fun.
All right,
And
well, thanks, Celebrity Juicer. We'll
hey,
love
no
to have you
worries.
back, and Miami Vice, of course. Yeah, as Mary says, you're very
Mhm.
natural. What I
Oh,
gotta
thanks,
say,
thanks, Mary. Appreciate you, Mary. Happy
yeah,
Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, guys.
Real
yeah,
talk.
happy
Thank
Tuesday,
you.
people.
Hey, thanks,
Um,
six.
yeah,
Six sticks. No,
six
six
six six.
six. Oh, oh, jeez. Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy
All right. Thank you
Tuesday,
so much,
Mary.
people. I'm out of here.
Hey,
It's been
thanks,
fun.
Fish. Yeah,
You're
thanks.
welcome. All
All
right.
right,
Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
Juicer.
Take care,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye, Jason.
Bye
Appreciate you.
bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Miami Vice, thank you for being on. People, smash that like
Thank you.
button. We'll do this more often. I got a jet. I got a long day. Lots of planning to do, but I really appreciate you all. Smash that like button. If you're watching a replay, leave me a comment. Tell me what you guys all think, and I guess I will see all you lovely people later. Have a good one,
Cool.
and bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you later. Take care.